Hello. We're here.
I'm sorry.
We're silly.
618.
I don't know why. Ooh,
I don't know.
616. I like that one.
I mean,
616?
No, 618. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, 618.
It's like,
it's the wine. I have a glass of wine. Just the thought of it makes me happy.
And I have coffee.
That's good. How are you? Delicious.
I am doing well, as per usual. I know we talked about this off the air, but not on the air. I'm going on a date on Friday.
Yes.
That is exciting. So I will have already.
What are you going to wear?
I think. Okay, this is funny. I think I'm going to wear what I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
I took it for a test drive today.
Is this like a little dress?
Yeah, it's a little dress.
Very cute. Very cute.
It's a little faded, but like, who cares?
No, and it doesn't look faded.
Yeah. Well,
that's
it is.
That's our souls.
It's like kind of right. I was like, that's me.
That's our skin.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I think that
cute.
now it's like the footwear. This is what I like. I'm not trying to put a lot of thought into this because I'm like, oh gosh, I'm worried about like what should I wear on the date. I don't care about that anymore. It's more like my thought is, do you present the representative? Like, do I wear the cutest outfit or do I go rags? And like, not like, you know,
yeah.
I've been on a, you know, you get what you get kick where I'm like, I'm not even shaving my legs.
Wow.
And I don't mean above the knee. I mean below.
Really? You're not, you want to be one of those ladies?
No, just like, it'll be like stubble because it'll be like, I shaved last week and I just like wasn't bothered because I'm like, I'm just going to go and not worry about that shit. And so far it turns out real well.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I try to tell Sarah. Like, it does not matter. If you're dating a man, I don't know what it's like dating women. If like, I don't know if they have the same standards or not. But with men, you do not have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then there's a part of me that like misses kind of doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I like the process. I like the whole the whole
I think I do more than I think I couldn't for a while, so I got used to that because I was like nomad.
Well, but what is going to be your footwear with this?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
What are the options? Like tennies?
Yeah, either a pair of Vans, like just some like Vans. I do like Vans with a dress.
Yeah.
Or some little booties. I mean, even a hat that matches. I love a hat.
You do. You do love a hat.
Yeah. I also love sun protection.
That dress would look very cute with Doc Marten boots.
I have those.
That would be cute too.
Yeah.
So
that kind of shows, like, just so you know, you're probably going to get a very witchy version of me on Halloween. That would be leading with that foot. Doc Marten foot would say that.
Well, that's what I like about you, though, is that you do have various personas.
Well, this is the problem.
But it's nice. It's a problem, as you say, of abundance.
Yeah, I mean,
there are so many Sarahs.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this today because, like, I feel like I'm really settled on not shrinking myself to be with anybody. I want to be able to be a full version of myself and express those different sides. And sometimes it feels like I have yet to find the person where I can be the full expression of myself without them wanting to put me in a smaller box or feeling emasculated by that or intimidated by that in some way. Or
we talked on the air about the fact that you're a single gal, right?
I think so. Oh, actually, no, maybe not.
Oh, because I know we mentioned it maybe in like a live that we did.
Yeah, I think we said it in a live, but yeah, I'm a single gal.
Okay, yeah. You're on the market, so to speak.
Yeah. It just wasn't feeling like the right fit, so, you know, set a nice nicely
so
parted
the
ways.
date, just to clarify, is with a new It's a first date. Yeah. It's a first date.
First date, yes. Back on, I went on the old dating apps because at first I was like, no, I'm going to meet somebody in real life. And I'm like, you haven't left your house in 2 weeks, Sarah. Where are you going to meet? The only person I'm going to meet is the TV repairman.
What if maybe like the last relationship was just really, it was like you were in a relationship with powder?
Well, that's sad because I think that might be what he thinks. And I think the timing
and
of
I'm totally joking.
Yeah, I think the timing of it was
for real?
Just that.
You think he was like, did she just use me for the powder?
Yeah.
That's so great. I'm sorry.
Or like for like a snowboard instructor in a way. And that wasn't the case.
Well, if he is listening, rest assured, Sarah is not capable of any kind of duplicity at all in that way. So that was just...
I just have to listen to my heart and like, you know.
Yeah. But it is funny to think about using someone for powder.
And she's not talking about cocaine or anything fun like that. I mean, it is fun.
No, like this seasonal.
That is my new favorite thing that you despise that word so much.
Powder?
Just like the culture that is...
I think
snowboarding.
That if it's any consolation, I think that I really do not enjoy any kind of in-speak in any world.
Correct. And that's what I love because like this is the one group that like I will allow myself to participate in. The other ones I will, because the other one is a lot of that like the same kind of shit you'd put on signs that drive us crazy. Like that, you know, the word art.
Word art, gather.
It's kind of like those kind of phrases
love.
where it's like, oh, come on. Like, you know.
Right. And, well, growing up in evangelical and Pentecostal culture, there's a whole language there. And I notice it. And that's part of why I hate, like, when moms all use, like, kiddos or hubs.
That's what I was that's more what I was
like my
to.
Tribe, and they use the word
when Susie says it, it's so funny.
They like to say like I'm with my kiddos this weekend and I'm just soaking up. They always say they're soaking up whatever. Like they're soaking up all this time with my kids before they go back to school. Or they'll be like, yeah, like, oh, in evangelical culture recently, this is a new one since I've left, they say the phrase love on. So, like, I'm going to love on her. I don't know why. Why did you add on? I don't know why there's a preposition. Like, why aren't you just saying, I'm going to love her? I love that person. They say, I'm going to love on you.
That was something that I feel like I heard in the Black community.
Oh, well, so I was just out with my gays recently.
That was
was saying like gay guys take all of their stuff from drag queens and drag queens take all their stuff from Black women. So like Black women start everything.
Yeah, and I believe that is something that Black women started, which is wonderful.
And then we all just steal it.
Totally. Yep.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Yes.
And any kind of in-speak, I'm like, what is this? What are you trying to do? I'm like always feeling like it's trying to manipulate me.
Yeah,
not
you don't
interested.
like that.
I'm not interested. So that's the powder thing. But anyway, you got a date. You're gonna. Okay, but you probably won't tell us about it because you've been keeping things close to the vest.
Yeah, I think that's like more. That's I like doing it like that. I got to keep some things. Got to have some boundaries.
All right. I mean,
but I will take any input on like, you know, footwear and, you know, your take on whether you should lead with the like best foot forward or.
Yes, that's we should do a poll. Should Sarah send her representative, you know, like the person that you pretend is you on a first date?
And I don't mean like personality wise. I don't mean who I'm going to present as far as who Sarah is, but I more mean like how much work are we putting into this? I almost feel like this has like been my thing. I don't wear makeup. I dress down, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner," and bam!
Yeah,
you're like,
you can only go up. Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, see, you got used to this regs, and you were like, yeah, I'm good with that." And then
you gave them
that there's some extra chicken nuggets at the bottom of the bag. There you go.
Right. I see what you're saying. Most people do not take that approach.
I know.
As you know, like the pictures people choose for their dating app is very rarely representative of like how they.
I tried to like do the opposite this time. I tried to like tone it down. I didn't put up my like
really no
pictures.
glamour shots.
Not. I did put one
Which
of like
picture
me
is
dressed
it?
in like a witch, like all gothy, because I was like,
yeah,
they gotta know.
they do need to know.
They
that
need to
is
know.
going to
I couldn't.
happen.
I tried to be the most transparent when it was like, "Do you smoke weed?" I was like,
Yes,
"Yes,
I
I
do.
Yes."
What's your main
Click
picture?
socially.
Do I know it?
Me
What's it look
hiking
like?
in Zion,
Okay.
just staring up at the canyon, and then the other one is just a selfie I took like the other week.
Okay.
In overalls.
Is it a smile?
I have
teeth?
2 out of 6 photos I'm wearing overalls too.
Oh God. Well, that's fair.
That's fair. I feel like gotta know, gotta let them know. And when I'm not wearing overalls, I'm wearing fishnet stockings. So
Yeah.
it's really.
It must
don't
be
know.
really hard for you on dating apps and stuff because I don't know anyone else like Sarah in the whole world. She is truly an original.
Thank you. I think. I don't know.
It's such a compliment, but it would be a challenge to sort
It
of
is.
present, because dating apps
Right.
are about presentation. It's about like, here's who I am. I don't know how you would distill that down to just like one thing.
This is the problem. And then when I talk about things that I've done or in my life or like, you know,
Well,
everything
it happens
sounds
on here every week.
insane. And everything sounds like they're like, that's nuts. Or
Yeah.
they think I'm like, maybe I'm making it up.
Right.
And I'm like, no, there's actual. Remember that guy? He totally gave me that feeling like he thought I was making it up. I'm like,
He was like,
no,
okay,
this is documented.
Sarah.
Like, you can watch that. Like, you could see me there. It's on television. I can't make this up. And so sometimes I just don't, you know, it's hard to, so that's the thing. That's what I'm saying about I'm not going to shrink myself. So it's going to take somebody who's really, it's going to take some serious BDE.
Yeah.
And
For
if
sure.
Raya would go ahead and fucking approve my application already, now it's asking for references. The only person I had in my contacts who was on there was, should I say it?
Yeah.
Kenny Santucci. So I submitted.
Kenny's on Raya?
Well,
How
he
do you
came
know
up
that?
in my contacts
Oh,
as like
God.
somebody else who was on there that could like vouch for me.
And did he?
I don't know. I just
You need
put
to
it
text
through.
him and be like, Kenny,
Get me on there.
my man.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
Don't even want to be
hilarious.
on there.
I can't believe it tells you. If you don't know, Raya is this exclusive dating app. It's, from what I understand, it's all industry types, like public figures,
Right.
people that have they're movers and shakers.
Once again, reason why I'm not on, like, there's a reason
No, but
my
you should be
application
on there
has
for
been passed
sure.
over. I don't know. If Kenny's on there,
If Kenny's on there,
that's fair. There's also a few other ones from the challenge who are on there, but I didn't know them as well. Who?
can you name one?
Should I?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm like blowing up their spot.
it's a dating app.
Trisha
Trisha,
from
how did
Sydney.
she make it and you didn't? You're
Sus.
more like well known.
Maybe I should start letting the representative take over.
Well,
Maybe
you know
my
that's
problem.
I am all about that. I am
Yeah,
all
right?
about
Smoke
the
and
whole
mirrors.
phone. Yeah, smoke and mirrors. Right, every day with these lashes. Every day, even if I'm not going anywhere. Every day. This
That's gonna
representative
make
is.
you feel good because, like, you know, I did my nails the other day and I was like, oh, I am a different person. I am like,
It does, but some days I'm like,
hand
this
movements.
this has to be like a sign of mental illness or something. Because if nobody's gonna see you and you're still like gluing or whatever,
no, Susie, it's the fucking mice that we talked about. You're trying.
I already am a
See, that's what I'm saying. The connections are crazy. The way we're already doing this is already happening, people.
It's already nice done. Of you that, like, when I was like, we should do that, you were probably like, you already are. That's really funny. That is sad, but why not? I mean, they're happier.
I don't know why I do this every single day. I just keep pruning myself, even though I don't even care about reproducing anymore. What other people think? After that's literally word for word how I described the beautiful ones of the mice.
This is my rock bottom, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, can I just say... In addition to grooming, another thing that I freaking love, and maybe one of my favorite partners of all time, is Wild Grain, which is this phenomenal bread company that ships frozen,
delicious,
unbaked, like croissants, sourdough bread, wonderfulness to your house.
Yes.
And then when you're ready, it's almost dinner time. You pop that baby right in the oven. 25 minutes later, you have fresh baked, like bakery level bread.
Bakery level bread. Oh,
like
Suze.
I love this so much, and it's like unbleached flour. It's all the good stuff.
Yeah, Let's be real here. We all want to be the kind of people who make homemade bread that looks like it's like perfect. Yes. Some of us mastered that during the pandemic. Some of us only are with it. Sarah. But with this, I pop it in the old oven.
Right.
Looks like I made it homemade.
Right.
Tastes
when
like
it tastes like it. Yeah, it smells like it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like worry about your starter, you know, the sourdough starter. I can't.
Oh, the sourdough is so good.
I love it, but I don't want to have to deal with that.
Right.
So this is like artisanal bread that somebody else made, and you can take the credit. Hungry already? For a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box.
So good.
Croissant. When you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy to start your subscription, you heard me, free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy. That's wildgrain.com/braincandy, or you can use promo code braincandy at checkout. Please do. You will thank me.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm a preener.
No, you're one of the beautiful ones.
That's there's a better way to put it. Yeah.
They kept quoting that in the article. The beautiful ones, the beautiful ones. I'm like, okay, we got it.
Don't judge them.
The stress-free beautiful ones.
That does sound nice.
Yeah. Keep pruning.
First things first. I mean, we have to talk about it. I know you probably won't watch it, but I think we even talked about it on the show when it was just an article. But the documentary on Netflix is called Our Father.
Suze, I started watching it.
I mean, what the F?
Holy crap.
So this bozo was a fertility doctor for decades, was quote unquote, air quotes, helping ladies have babies. They thought that their husbands or an anonymous donor was the sperm. Turns out this joker was jerking off in the room next to them and then waltzing in there on, as they called it, the endocrine high of orgasm.
Ew.
And shoving it up their vaginas.
Ew.
And then
Ew. The part about him, like, in a weird way, making his own super race of people is probably the most disgusting thing.
Yes. They said that it felt like there are so many of these siblings now, which they found through, genetic testing, like 23andMe and stuff. There's so many. They all they're like the Aryan race. It's like these blonde, blue-eyed.
They look exactly alike. It's real creepy.
And the worst part is how he didn't break any laws in doing that.
Right. It was the very beginning. It was like the dawn of this time.
And
the women wanted to have babies so bad.
But after they found out, they said that it felt the equivalent of like rape, really.
Yeah.
Because
I felt really bad for the one who's when their husbands didn't know and they thought like they.
Oh my God. Some of them, like the the partner, the husband, thought he was the biological dad.
Yeah.
That would be so traumatic.
Yeah.
But then, okay, can we just like kind of put a pin in that and then help? Because whenever you have conversations about like adoption or things like this, it does feel weird because why does it matter? Like,
it does. It only, there's a hurdle there's a grieving process. There's like there's something to overcome with that.
What?
But it doesn't change the nature of the relationship. It doesn't change. It's more of a mental thing than it is anything else.
I guess I totally understand why the women and the dads and everybody and the kids feel so upset. That is not in question. What I want to unpack is sort of what you're saying, where why do we put so much emphasis on like the biology of it? That this person shares my DNA. And
I feel like you have the better answer to this question because it feels like it's rooted in religion and like what's our purpose?
So you feel it's just like bloodline type thing where like I pass on my genes and that's just sort of an evolutionary, human instinct to want to do that. But then when you talk to people who are either adopted or have adopted, they say there's no difference. They feel that love and connection. And it's just, I don't know I don't know because I've never experienced that, what that would feel like.
I think it would more be a shock. Like, I would imagine in some of these situations, they would say, "Oh, you look just like your dad," or "You, you got that from your dad."
Yeah.
And when it's the cognitive dissonance. It's that's the part it's the same as or not the same, but I feel like it's similar. Or what it kind of reminds me of is when there's a breakup or when get divorced, whatever happens. It's the, even if you don't want to be in that relationship anymore, the erasing of the imagined future with that or in that way is, I think, the most difficult for the brain to do. It's hard to let go of that, to think, oh my God, I have to recreate all that because there's a lot of energy that was put into that. So I think that might be similar.
Yeah.
In the reverse of like, wow, I have all these experiences within the framework of that person being my genetic child. And it doesn't change the love, but it changes maybe pushes back on some of those things. So it says like, if we don't share that, then what do we, it creates that
like a crack in the foundation or something.
Yeah. And there's the rational mind and then there's the automatic thoughts that create some of those intense feelings that we got to work through and challenge. Is that true? Is that the reality? What does that even mean? And the rational brain can do that. But if you let the automatic brain just go and take those thoughts, then I can see how it can create those feelings. Those could be hard to get through. That's how I explain it in a way.
And it probably is a lot worse when the person who did it is absolutely not sorry at all. And just
do they have him in his or is he dead?
He's alive.
Do they have his interviews?
Walking the street. He's not in interviews, but he's just like walking the streets. I mean, they did have some recordings, I think, where, he said, there was a recording on a phone call where he said, I thought what I was doing at the time was helpful and fine. And which I don't believe this for a second. I think that
I don't either.
Sick, like ego.
Not with that many. Because there were not that many that you needed to.
Almost 100 children are siblings.
Bet there were people the dad's sperm was just fine. Everything was going to go just fine. That's the criminal part.
Yeah, so there's almost 100 of them. And at his own fertility clinic, he wouldn't have qualified as a donor because he had an autoimmune disorder.
Oh,
and now so many of the kids have them too. Isn't that sick? How does that not break the law?
That feels like you're...
Right? It's sick. It's so disturbing. I feel so bad for these people, the moms, the dads, the children.
It's so much to unpack and so layered. And
they said it's a small town. Like, there's 100 siblings that didn't know they were siblings. That is a problem.
That is a big problem.
So they have to tell their kids, like, be careful who you are interested in, because we are probably related.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And you know how we've talked about how when you take birth control, it makes you more attracted to people who are genetically close to you?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That was a doozy. I was glad I watched it because I had read about it, and I liked hearing from the kids and stuff. But you finish it, and there is this sense of like, but justice was not provided for these people.
Oh, gosh. That's what I'm feeling with all these documentaries that are coming out about things that are taking place in more recent times, where it feels like, oh, there's no pretty bow on this, or it's still unwrapped.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we're trying to create so many films.
Yeah, and there are so many stories, but...
Yeah. I watched this thing about a guy... We've talked about these people who have the problem of amnesia, and they forget every few seconds. You know those people?
Yeah.
This was a guy, last name was Waring. I can't remember his first name, but Clive, I think. And he had, a simple infection of herpes, and whatever went wrong, it was the brain-blood barrier had been breached.
Yes.
Which they said that, like, if it had happened a little bit before that, he probably would have died. And if it had happened a little bit after that, he probably would have been fine because they would have caught it, and it would have been... So he was, like, stuck in this middle ground where he just got the brain damage, and so he only has 7 seconds at a time that he remembers. And I was just, like, blown away by it because...
Who are you?
Who are you? And he's being interviewed, and he describes what it's like, and he says
Oh, that's a nightmare, Susie.
It was like, how could this be real? And he was saying, like, he calls it like death, where there's no pain. He doesn't suffer, but he has no dreams. He has no thoughts. He has no history. He has no memories. He has nothing.
And then who are you if you have no memory and you have no, like, somebody asks So is he able to remember anything before?
This is the magic key. This is why it's so compelling.
Yeah.
And you've heard this so much with, like, people with Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. He's a musicologist.
Oh, my goodness.
He is still amazing with music. And that's because I feel like once you let music inside your soul, it is not like a memory. It's like part of you.
That's so beautiful. Oh, who's the hippity-dippity one now?
Well, kind of, but I think it can apply to other things like sports, like almost like a muscle memory.
Yes, for sure.
But in this case, the memory is like your soul.
Yeah.
And also love. So, like, his wife, he doesn't know anything about her. He doesn't remember anything, but he is excited every time he sees her. Every time.
That's the most beautiful thing.
And they say, what's it like being with your wife? And he says, it is pure bliss. And
my God, my heart. I'm going to cry.
And they were like, what's it like
so
when she's gone? And he's like, I don't know. I have no memory. He doesn't know what it's like when she's there because that's all he knows for those 7 seconds. But every time he greets her, it's like they haven't seen each other in 100 years, even though it's just been like 7 seconds. And so they'll go, what is love? What is the importance of love? And he'll say, in tennis, 0. In life, it's everything. Oh my God!
Okay.
I know. And he says
almost that. I mean, if I can get through that story without crying, that might be a good first date story.
Use it. Because it's the secrets to life, love and music. And I agree. I'm telling you.
Love and creative expression.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's your soul. It transcends.
I bet art would be the same. If you put paint in front of them, they'd be able to draw or paint or make something.
Yeah.
Create.
Because it transcends.
We need to create. We need to love.
Life on this earth. It's
so
spiritual. It's like it goes beyond this plane, I think, of Earth. It's so cool, but so sad. On the other hand,
I have so many emotions I'm experiencing right now as you tell me this. I like joy and relief, but also like despair and sadness.
Yes.
Mourning, like grief. Like my heart is heavy, but then also happy. What are you doing to me?
Well, before he was married to this gal, he had been married before and he had kids, and he doesn't remember them. So that's a hard thing because you would think that love would be transcendent also. And he speaks well of them, but he says he doesn't remember their names and stuff. And that's hard to accept. Yeah. But he does know his own name, which is weird. Why do you think that is?
Well, usually there's, and I can never remember which is which, retrograde amnesia and anterograde amnesia.
He has both.
Which is, oh, fuck.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah. It's both, like everything.
It's in both directions.
You're gone, but he does know his name, and he does get excited when he sees his wife, and he knows music, and that's it.
Yeah. There are some things, I can't remember where I saw this, but remember, well, you're going to be like, what do you mean when? You still are. Remember when I was like really heavily into researching synesthesia and knowing everything about that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So there was something I watched or read that was talking about what is fixed, like what is unchanging.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they noticed is that people who have dementia and Alzheimer's and can't remember anything will still have the same synesthesia experiences. So like if you think these colors are these colors, and then you have traumatic brain injury, you still think those colors are those colors afterwards, but you can't remember anything else. So there's something in there, kind of like the music, where it's like in there. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it would be the same with knowing another language.
Right. It must be because if he knows English. Oh. I guess maybe it depends on when you learned it.
Everything, it's so weird because it's like, it's not just this part does this part does this. It's a symphony.
Yeah.
It's everything together that creates that.
Right. When you learned it, what the damage was.
Yeah.
Or where the damage was.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. Because the fact that we can have people who have aphasia where you have the information but you can't find the words, it's so specific. It's so crazy. The things that, wow, I don't know, are resilient and then not.
I'll tell you what else is crazy is how much we love Daily Harvest.
Delicious. I'm telling you, this it checks a lot of boxes for me, but 2 big ones.
That's so true. It does.
Yeah, big, huge ones.
Right.
I want really, really healthy food.
Yep, it's healthy.
That I'm not going to feel crappy about.
Yep. But
and I want
it's delish.
Super fast.
Right. Right.
You know what? And the fact that it's delicious is like an extra bonus.
That's just bonus.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I said to Sarah before we started, I really want to get people to understand that this is a wonderful option for delivery. All the time where you're like, what should we have tonight? Oh, I know, takeout. this is such a great alternative because it's healthy and yummy and super fast.
See, you go dinner. I say this is the only breakfast you can. This,
for
how
smoothies.
Would you, the smoothies are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I'm a savory girl. You're more in the sweet tooth.
And
category.
if I tried to do this at home, because it's like, okay, I would throw out $50 worth of vegetables that I bought that I didn't,
that you didn't
end up using, or somehow all that. Everybody knows that.
This is like gourmet level stuff. So like, yes, they have the smoothies, wonderful for breakfast or whenever, or a snack. But and the ice cream, like the frozen treat for dessert, the chocolate amazingness, which my mother stole all of them. But then they also have the flatbreads and the harvest bowls. And like, if you're having a hard time being healthy when you don't have a lot of time, this is such a great option. Avoid the takeout temptation and get Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/braincandy to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/braincandy for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/braincandy. We have two great
it's
partners.
the price of fast food anyway.
Well, that's the thing. You think, I'll save money and time. Well, save it with Daily Harvest.
Yeah. It's like I spent more than that at the drive-thru the other day.
You're so right, though, about, like, the brain is so, in some ways it's so plastic and malleable, and then in other ways it's so mysterious, and, like, you just think, how does this all work? Yeah. When you see stories like that guy, and you realize how, for him it was just like a little bit of bad luck changed everything. And how it's so striking to me when he says, like, it's like being dead and you're like, it's like being unconscious. And then he said, you have no pain. But then he said, but that's not a good thing, is it? And when you told me about the mice, that is the first thing I thought of.
See, I'm telling you, when you piece together so many of the different things that we talk about and that we've read, and
I was just like, that is what he's
just
saying.
Got to put on your thinking cap and
because
maybe
if there's nothing to compare it
to, it's an argument
to,
for why you need to go camping.
Well, be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like you think, I don't want to work out, it sucks, or whatever it is that you procrastinate because it's painful. Lean into the pain, because if you didn't have pain, you wouldn't have pleasure. And that's kind of what this guy is saying.
Susie!
It's terrible.
I was going to say, I love this story. I mean,
I love
know
it too. But I feel
so...
it's terrible that happened to him.
It really is. Oh, gosh, it really is.
But
I remember that it's terrible. So
there's a 45-minute film about it. So if you're interested, you can find it. It's fascinating, just to see what that would be like and what his life looks like. Oh, God, nightmare.
It definitely would make me grateful.
Yeah, if you watched it. Yeah.
No. Yeah. And or just you tell me about it.
I also watched on the New York Times. They had a film, I think it was called My Disability Roadmap, and it was about a fella who has cerebral palsy. He's 20, and he wants to be, he is a filmmaker. He made this film, and he's profoundly affected, so he can't communicate verbally with without assistance, and I think the message of the film is just please stop treating us like children when we're not.
Yes. Right.
And that inside I'm a full man.
Yes.
And because they showed this.
I'm sure.
They were at the airport and he had the camera running and it was facing him. But then you could hear this woman come up and go you're so cute.
No.
How'd you get to be so cute?
Stop it. Stop it.
Her intention was good. You could tell she was well-meaning.
Oh, my God.
And the dad kept saying, he's 20. You're kind of talking to him like he's 5, but he is 20. He's just typical college person. And she kept trying again, and it was just as bad. And so eventually they just had to walk away from her and wheel away from her.
That is awful.
But, you would think most people that would approach someone like that would be well-versed in how to do that. Like, to be brave enough, because it does take a level of courage to just sort of walk up to.
I think it takes, this sounds like a white woman.
Right.
Yeah. This takes, it's not a level of courage. It takes a level of assumption. And like, no, like a level of
obliviousness.
Yes. Obliviousness. Yeah. And then like assuming that you have a full understanding of the situation based on your very tiny experience in the world. And the idea that it's like very white saviory, like you're going to be the one to come in and like say
yeah.
So,
when she walked away, he kept making this noise, and the dad was like, "How you doing? You okay? What's the matter?" And he was like he was so mad.
Right.
But when she was there, he would not even emote. He was acting like he could not even hear her.
Yeah.
He was just like glazed over. And the dad said he shuts down whenever people talk down to him like that.
Yeah,
so.
I would too. Please.
What
I shut down when the bank teller talked down to me the other day, so I couldn't imagine.
No, you didn't. What'd he or she say?
Well, he was just like explaining that I needed to change. Oh, God, fucking. The bank was harder than the DMV to change. They're like, no, we need original copies of da 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 da. Like they needed an original copy of my divorce decree or whatever it's called. Meanwhile, I had my birth certificate, my new driver's license with my everything, and the guy just explained it to me in this slow voice that made me so mad at him. Like well, what I'm gonna need is da da da, and I was like. Really short with him. And then when we finished the appointment, he was like, well, I'm sorry this was like so difficult. I'm like, no, it wasn't that it was difficult and he's like, I'm sorry it was difficult. And like, and I hope it didn't take up too much of your time. He was like trying to be nice and everything because he could tell I was a little bit put off. And I said, no, what it really was is how you talked down to me yesterday and you were talking in a very condescending tone. And I don't like getting talked to all slow like that, like I'm some sort of dummy. And he goes, oh, I didn't notice I was talking like that. I'm like, well, you did. And then I just left.
If someone...
I 100% said it just like that. And I know it's nothing my experience, I am in no way comparing it to that.
No, I get it.
Whatsoever.
No.
Who cares about what happened to me?
No, but you're saying just on a daily level, you would shut down and imagine what he experiences.
Right. And one little, that was like a nothing. Yeah. And it made me shut down. And I would be so frustrated. I would be so mad. It was like, do you remember the documentary Crip Camp? That's so fucking good. If you haven't seen that, see that. Actually, we should pick that for the doc club.
Well, and in the short film I watched, he went to different people to get advice. And that was the gal from that last name Human, Judy. Judy Human.
Yes.
She was in it and she was, just sharing her experiences.
Guess what? We fuck. I love her.
Well, that was one of the themes, too, is that this guy's horny, of course.
Yes!
He's a 20-year-old man.
He's a 20-year-old guy.
And he, really wants to date, but I think more than that, wants to bang.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And was trying to get advice about it. And I don't know what the answer is, because everyone that he spoke to was just sort of like, yeah, it's brutal because...
that's so sad. We need more representation, more visibility. And it's nice Barbie came out with their new line of a little more inclusive,
Oh my God. Adam and I were watching on Netflix you know how they have the movies that made us, that series?
Yes.
They now have the toys that made us. Did you watch it?
No, but I saw
They have an episode about Barbie. And we were watching that and it was really fascinating. And I learned things I didn't know before. I don't know. There's more to that story. I won't even get into it now, but it was oh my gosh, I thought I knew everything about Barbie because I've seen documentaries about Barbie. But it was fascinating, but it was based on a sex doll that the lady saw in Europe. It was a hooker doll. That was and she was like,
we're giving all our kids hooker dolls.
Yes. But anyway, it's The sex
Man,
stuff
I'm
makes
going to
things
watch
real
that now because
complicated.
I skipped it because we had talked so much about it on
Yeah.
here, and we've so many articles, history up, blah blah blah, who started it. Like I just like you, I'm like, I probably know everything that's going to be on there. Nope. Okay. Good to know.
It was really fascinating. If you
there's
see
always
it, you
new
should watch
stuff
it.
to learn.
But I do feel that puberty really fucks up our ability or our willingness to help certain types of people. I think that applies to people on the spectrum. There's all this like behavioral therapy for like, learning how to eat and learning how to do this and that as like elementary school age.
Yeah.
And then it's over because they're verbal or they've hit their benchmarks. Right. But then they hit puberty and things go a little haywire.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are not as many resources for those folks.
No, for sure.
Or disabled folks. And like, I think I told you there was a guy in my neighborhood who had Down syndrome, and he was a man, and he was like super horny and super into me. He really wanted to hug all the time. And I don't know what the answer is. Like on Life Goes On with Kelly Martin. I don't know if you're familiar with this show. And Patty Lupone, they had a character who had Down syndrome. His name was Chris Burke, and played Corky, the character.
Oh, yes.
And Corky ended up marrying a gal who also had Down syndrome named Amanda.
Wow, Susie,
Wait,
coming with the fucking facts.
Why am I encyclopedic about Life Goes On? But I thought, well, that is such a beautiful relationship, and I wish I saw more of that in life.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we have like a dating site for these people?
I feel like there is.
Oh.
I think this does exist.
Oh my God. Well, good.
Well, remember the show Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah.
There was the dating coach I think that there are dating.
We need that, but just like scaled for everybody. You think this is mainstream?
I don't mainstream. No,
but like you think there's an app or something.
Listen,
there should be.
If fucking clowns have a dating app,
no, they have a dating site.
Okay, I guarantee it become an app now. There's no way that they haven't crossed over into app territory. Like, come on, clown dating is a thing.
Yes,
there should be a more inclusive dating site for people who want to meet people who are more like them.
Yeah, man.
Or even more understanding.
Well, because like you're saying, when Judy was like, we want to bang, I mean, why wouldn't they?
Right.
Yeah, we should make that happen for these
They're consenting
people.
Adults. Yeah. Let them do it.
Any hoodles. I recommend it.
I wish that camp was still... Bring that camp back.
Did it get shut down? What happened to it?
Yeah, because like friggin' all camp got like...
Oh my God, you're just sad about camp.
After like the 80s and like rules.
What kind of rules?
Not like... It felt... I don't know. Like camp just felt like wild before. Now it feels very structured.
That's true of everything, though.
Like that.
Yeah.
It was just like, dude, 15-year-olds are like running everything, and they don't even have compute. Like kids are just getting like name tags, and then like there's no like data system with.
So you feel like it's
contacts.
Too helicopter parenty on a big scale camp systems now.
Well, here's I feel like all of life is like that now. That like, but we have to be. In a weird, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if we have to be. I don't know if we don't. I just feel like it's different.
Sarah wants it to be like Action Park.
Yeah, I do.
Lawless.
Listen,
lawless.
Gotta have a little. Gotta build up that resilience.
You
gotta have a little
see
bit.
If you
things
can.
Are too comfortable. Like bring back the wooden playground equipment. Splinters. There's an audio like that's going around on like TikTok and Instagram and everything that's like encourage your kids to do things that are dangerous safely. Something like that. It's like they're going to learn through doing things that are like scary things safely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like we need to do more. I don't even know what we were talking about before this, but I know that that's a...
Well, just you were...
Hell, I'm going to die.
You were lamenting the death of camp culture.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Anarchy.
God. Yeah, and it's like, can't go in the lake, can't do that, can't this,
Really?
do this. Dirt bikes are done. No more archery. Definitely no more riflery.
Well, my mom tries to pull this, though. She'll be like, we didn't even have car seats. Like, you just hold your baby. Like, in the 70s, you just held your baby and drove away. And she's like, and it worked out fine. I'm like, yeah, for you. But, like, a lot of babies died in car accidents.
Right.
So
Anybody
I
whose
do
baby
think there is a balance there.
There is a balance. Right.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like, safety things where, like, you could get killed because of malfunctioning.
Why don't they let them in the lake?
Well, they do.
Bacteria or something?
No, they do. I'm being dramatic.
Oh, okay. Because I really would. I want to know about that.
Yeah.
No. But
it feels.
Do you think we've overcorrected?
Like, what?
We've overcorrected.
We've overcorrected.
Yeah.
We've definitely overcorrected. Like, just like, I don't know. Yeah, because like, my mom was like, unless you're almost dead, or dying, or there's so much blood, don't come home. Stay outside. We came home to I don't know. It just felt like more like.
I know.
But I don't even know if I would do that with children now.
Well, I definitely have overcorrected. My kid I don't even know if it's my fault, but he does have all these sensory fabric issues. And like they have field day coming up and he comes home and he was like, great. The field day shirt is cotton.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no. I know that
created a monster. It's not
you wear an
polyester.
undershirt.
It's not a poly cotton blend that you approve
It's so
of.
funny that he does cotton is so comfy though.
I know, but and he's dead serious. His worst enemy, velvet.
Stiff cotton. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is like that feels. I don't like it either.
But who cares? But I said to my friend Kelly, because she works in occupational therapy or whatever, and I was like, the only cure is exposure therapy, right? She was like, yep. So
100%.
You got to drown yourself on cotton, my friend.
Yes, you do.
Poor Link.
Oh.
But
is there anything that you had like that you've gotten over? That you just can stand it because you can talk yourself through it?
No, not like him. We all have preferences or things we're not really into.
Right.
But I never
had
a
thing that you have to talk. I have to do it whenever anybody's making a balloon animal.
Oh yeah, you do hate that. She hates the sound
to
of
not absolutely
balloon,
collapse. Yeah.
Balloon on balloon.
Balloon
oh my
on balloon.
God. Sarah will
rubber
lose
on rubber.
it.
No,
that's why
it.
When we had our book club event and she made a balloon rainbow or whatever the heck those things are.
Right.
That was a labor
therapy.
of love.
I have to just because I was it's like what you said. You have to want something more than whatever to get over it. And I want to create balloon arches. So fucking bad. I will put myself through the torture, and it is torture. Yeah, exposure
whatever
therapy.
It takes.
Gonna have to do it.
Okay. I know it's time to wrap up, but let me think. I mean, there was an update on the guy that had the penis attached to his arm, remember?
Oh my God, yes.
So if you're not familiar with this story.
To grow it, to then replace it?
Yeah, this guy, he had a venereal disease or no, it was some sort of infection.
Yeah.
It was an infection in his prostate or something. And it made his penis shrivel up and fall off. Truly. So they grafted one out of the other area, but then there was some sort of issue during the surgery and they had to wrap it up real quick. Like it was an emergency. And so they had to sew it real quick just somewhere. And so they chose his arm because of some variables. Then this guy had to leave the hospital with a penis on his arm.
I know it's sad, and I know it's like, but I can't, because I remember the photo, and it's like real life is so much stranger than fiction.
That was hilarious how they like pixelated it like it was still a real normal penis, but it was on his arm. Because they were just,
because what do you do?
Because otherwise it'd be like porn, penis porn. Right. Anyway, so then because of COVID and all this stuff, they couldn't get him scheduled to like put it where it belongs. So he's been walking around with this penis attached.
Hey, dick hand.
and it's low. You can't even cover it. So it's like way down here on the, what's this area called? Forearm. And so if he wore short sleeves, dick hand. Anyway, it's gotten sorted out. He got the surgery. It is now attached in his pelvic region where it belongs. Everything's working great. But he keeps like doing interviews about it, which I commend him for doing. Right. Because I'm sure a lot of people would make fun of him. And he has kids and everything.
Oh, that's so sad.
And he's just like having to deal with
I don't know why it's sadder if he has. It's like sad no matter what. But it's just like it's a lot to go through. Ooh.
And he was like saying like sometimes it would have brushed up against people like when it was on his arm. And he had to be like, sorry.
He's not wrapping that thing up?
Well, sometimes it gets hot, I guess. Truly.
He needs to like let that thing hang?
Or like you would say, like pop out of the cup.
Pop out.
He chose 6 inches. I didn't know that. He got to pick the size. And it's 2 inches longer than the one he had. So he's like psyched about it.
Oh. Now, question. Is it 6 inches? Is there any chance that he can also be a grower?
Right. I don't know what it is.
Flaccid 6, which is very impressive. I mean,
nice.
That's like.
But I'm sure it led to more mishaps when it was on the arm.
6 inches.
He really paid the price for that. But what amazing things they can do now. But they can't cure the common cold.
Yeah, and I feel like what parts needed to be available still? Did they create this from nothing? Because if it's from nothing and there were no parts that were
I see
typical to, why couldn't they do this with people who are looking for gender?
They do. Well, I don't know about the arm part, but they definitely do give you a penis if you're a trans man.
I did not know that we have come that far to where I knew you could take hormones that would grow things to be larger, but I did not know you could have.
Didn't you see the Curb Your Enthusiasm where Chaz Bono plays Funkhauser's nephew who is trans and got a gigantic penis put on him?
I don't know if I
and
really
he kept
thought
at the
about
gym
it,
hitting stuff with it, and it was like a
But I thought we were just talking like
it's true.
Wow.
It can really happen. Yeah, trans men can get it going on, fully functioning.
This is fantastic.
I know. I'm psyched for them.
This was not the case not that long ago.
I know. They've come a long way.
Damn.
Yeah, because I wonder if, because what you were saying, sometimes they can do where, like, if you have a clitoris, but you're a trans
That is what was taught when I was in school.
It can grow.
Like, hello.
Yes. And maybe they can still do that. Maybe you get to pick if you want to do that, or maybe they add to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe you grow it and then you can add on to it.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. If you are a doctor and want to share with us about trans operations, I am here for it.
Yeah.
Because I would love to learn more about that. It's fascinating.
Very interesting.
But congratulations to the penis arm guy because he waited a long time for that.
Now he's got it.
Let's wind it down.
Hard to wind it down after penis arm.
So much
But just so happy that we get another opportunity to post that photo.
Right, the pixelated arm penis.
Yeah.
Sarah's got a date coming up. So we're going to do a poll on Instagram. We'll find out, what do you think's better? Start the bar low?
Yes.
Leave yourself.
Keep expectations low, or
lead with like the dream
with your
girl.
best foot.
Let us know.
Yep.
And watch Our Father on Netflix, because that is insane.
Creepy.
Amnesia teaches us why love and music matter.
Oh, I think that is such a sad story, but a heartwarming story.
Yeah. It does.
Good stories.
Yeah, it does make you think about our life on this earth. Life as people. It's complicated. And then we're hoping somebody has made a dating app for people that are maybe disabled or on the spectrum or both.
Or clowns.
Or clowns. And then we could do like matchmaking, because, these people need to get laid too.
Yeah. Everybody deserves a little LOVE.
And then congratulations to the penis arm guy.
Congrats. He gets some love too, or his wife does.
Yeah, that's wonderful news.
Yeah,
anyway,
6 inches.
Be sure to subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and tell a friend.
1 star for every inch. Okay. So plus an extra.
And we'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.